Ladies and boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, we're going to be talking about the one and only Turbo coin. Ladies and gentlemen, super excited to be covering Turbo as always. You know me, you know I love this toad, and we will see how things will unfold in this episode. We can see in terms of news from directly Turbo themselves, nothing too crazy, right? Nothing really. In fact, just a couple of posts, which is, always solid, because even if, there's nothing new in terms of news, as long as they're active, they show that they're here. And that does matter, right? That does matter. We've seen something like Myro fall off, uh, you know, extremely hard because they stopped being active, they stopped growing, and then Myro fell apart. But Turbo didn't. We are going to cover the basics first, ladies and gentlemen, and then we're going to go look at the technical analysis. We can see, right, we are ranked 162 in the world, 0.0037 price. Crazy to think that we're up 5,000% from the all time, right? 5,000%. Crazy. Obviously, those that got in early, very lucky. Very lucky. And yeah, I mean, we're at 258 million market cap, 52 million volume the last 24 hours. And we can see that we actually have destroyed the record, and we're almost at 55,900 holders, which is very nice, right? Because a couple days ago, I know some people were concerned that we dropped in holders, right? We're like, oh no, we just dropped 200 holders out of nowhere. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Every time we drop in holders, we just always redeem ourselves 1 or 2 weeks later by continuing to smash the record. So we see Turbo is growing. Turbo is growing conditions that aren't, the most pleasing and friendly, right? We can see Turbo, generally speaking, has been going sideways more or less the last few days. Okay. We broke out from this trend, many weeks ago at this point, right? Many weeks ago, we broke out from this trend, and then we were just slowly and surely selling off. Yeah, sometimes we would go up, sometimes we would go sideways, but the general trend was still down. Recently, we've been seeing a change of structure, a change of character, right? Even when we draw this out, right, very simply, something like this, right? It doesn't have to be 100% accurate or perfect. We will readjust everything in the very near future. But when we do something like this, we can tell that we have actually started to break out of this downwards channel. Okay. And that is a reality, right? This is not just one of those speculation things. I think we're going to break out or this or that. No, this is already happening in real time in our faces, right? If we just readjust this properly, yeah, we'll do something like this. This is like the way the channel should look. Okay. So we can see we have been just going boom, upwards, downwards, mainly trending down. But recently we have seen a shift. We could also see that we have also created some type of relevant support, right? Of course, on the higher time frame, we have all of this area that is considered support. But in terms of the picture more zoomed in, this is the relevant support. And we can see we're actually holding it very well. As of right now, we are creating a reverse head and shoulders. We have a shoulder over here. We have a head over here. And then we have another shoulder over here. Now, of course, that doesn't necessarily mean it's 100%, go button. But a reverse head and shoulders with a change of structure and character is very powerful. Okay. The reason why I'm not, 100% let's go, is because I'm still skeptical about Bitcoin a little bit, right? Bitcoin is looking to break some of these highs. Okay. It really is. But the fact that our June candle was fairly weak, right? Our June candle was fairly weak. I'm still skeptical because the thing is, right, we could just simply sweep these highs of the June candle to go lower. Okay. We have to see how this week closes. I think this week is going to really determine where price is going to be. As of right now, we have this high, and as of now, still we have another lower high. Okay, so there's no indication of a breakout or anything just yet. So we have to be skeptical, right? We have to be skeptical because even though there are potential changes of character and us going sideways and eventually up, we still have to see and make sure it's not a fake out. Okay. However, however, right, in the event that this is not a fake out, we will get something very similar to what we had a few months ago, right? Also, a reverse head and shoulders, which we talked about at the time, right? We have the shoulders once again, shoulder, head, shoulder. Okay. We see, boom. And then what happened after? A couple days after, between a week to two later, we exploded. So we are keeping an eye out on that. When we look at something like the 4-hour candles, ladies and gentlemen, we can see that we practically do have a double bottom. Technically, down here, that this did close a little bit lower, but it still doesn't matter too much, right? If it closes like a centimeter or slightly lower, it doesn't always mean it's technically a lower low. Okay, for me, these are more seen as equal lows. Now, I will say I do still validate this high over here, and this high is a lower high, right? This is a lower high than this high over here. So I am looking out at that. Okay. But we have to see how it unfolds. I do expect a little bit of a short-term pullback, right? At least probably down to this zone of here, 0.00. Let's just say 3.5 to see for a bounce back. And then I would want a push to the upside. All right, that's what I'd be mainly looking for. Once we, reclaim certain territory, and once we get above 0.004, we should be really looking to then reclaim 0.0046 next. So, I am looking for Turbo to make some moves. Now, in the event where things do go sour, right, we will be looking for how we react off of 0.0033, but that is not on the table as of right now, right? We are monitoring everything, but as of right now, that is not on the table. But we can see, right, just even from visually, this has started to really shift sideways. We can tell, right? We did break out of this channel. So now we just want a little bit more confirmation. And once we get that, we should be chilling. But yeah, that is ultimately it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you want a portfolio review or to even join the free Discord community, make sure to click the first link in the description. But yeah, that is ultimately, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.